Hi, it's Joe97 Reviews, and today I'm going to go through my Blu-ray Steelbook and Collector's Edition collection. I'll go through these in alphabetical order, Steelbooks first, and then the Collector's Editions. So without further ado, let's go. First off, we have Ad Astra. It's a pretty nice design on the front there, very minimalist and bold. The back is just plain black. The inside has the shot of them driving across the moon. And then it's the front again. Really underrated film, highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. Sort of a blend of 2001: A Space Odyssey and Apocalypse Now. Unfortunately, I think the marketing was this film's letdown, but I highly recommend you check it out. Speaking of Apocalypse Now, here we have the Redux the final cut version that does include the Redux. There's about 6 discs in here. So you've got the Heart of Darkness documentary there as well, plus the many different versions of the film. It's just a really nice sort of comic booky style art design there. Definitely one of my favourite war films of all time. Next we have Tim Burton's Batman, basic bold logo and Batman on the back there. Great film, great performance from Jack Nicholson, and Keaton's Batman is obviously one of the best. Then we also have its sequel, Batman Returns. Similar, got all 3 there, Catwoman and Penguin as well. And then the front, nice icy logo. Then we go for Batman Begins. Again, bold, basic steelbook art, but it works well for the film. And you guessed it, The Dark Knight. There you go, nice shot of the Joker there on the back. Obviously one of the best films of all time. And when we have The Dark Knight Rises. Again, basic kind of snowy, rainy art there. And on the inside, I believe it's Bane walking away. And next we have a film by Takashi Miike, Blade of the Immortal. I haven't seen this yet, but the Steelbook was the same price as the regular Blu-ray, so I thought I'd get that one. And then we have Blade Runner 2049, one of my favourite sci-fi films of all time, and I prefer it to the original. Controversial? Maybe. They're both brilliant, but I just prefer this one. You need to get the first one on Steelbook, so that's very cool. Basic design there, you got Gosling on the front and Harrison Ford on the back. And we have Captain Phillips. I actually watched this for the first time recently. Really great film, great Tom Hanks performance, really intense movie from the director of Bourne Supremacy and Ultimatum and various other films. Yeah, solid fine. The Steelbook was really cheap, so I thought why not. Then we have Casino from Martin Scorsese. Need to rewatch this, it's been ages. Definitely up there with Goodfellas and his best in my opinion, but it's been a while since I've watched this. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. And we have Chronicle again, a film by a director who's it's his only really good film, to be honest, Josh Trank. He did the awful Fantastic Four reboot and the really crap recent Capone movie. Chronicle, however, is brilliant, and if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. A really good spin on the superpower, superhuman genre. Then we have Clerks, one of my favourite comedies of all time from Kevin Smith. I actually watched this again recently and it still holds up. I need to go through the rest of the Viewer Skuniverse ones that I haven't seen in a while. But yeah, Smith's best still. Smith's best, still really relatable even in current day situations, and just really bloody funny throughout. And we have Stanley Kubrick's A Clockwork Orange, one of the most notorious films of all time, one of Kubrick's best. Great film. We have The Colour of Money, a really underrated Scorsese film, a sequel to The Hustler, starring Paul Newman, who also returns in this. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, which I don't think too many people probably have, it's got a great Tom Cruise performance and an awesome Paul Newman performance, and it's a great Scorsese flick. We have The Departed, another one of my favourite Scorsese films. This is actually an American Steelbook, I believe. It's definitely not the UK one. Yeah, amazing cast, brilliant gangster crime flick, highly recommend. Django Unchained, one of Tarantino's best and one of the best westerns. Great performances all round. Don't Breathe, one of my favourite thrillers of 2016. I watched this again earlier this year. Still holds up really well. Can't wait for the sequel that's supposed to be coming out soon. And we have Dread, a film that really should have done better and deserved more at the box office. Excellent hardcore action flick that catches the character perfectly. El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie. One of the best Netflix originals and a great follow-up story to the perfect series Breaking Bad. It's cool that Netflix are bringing out some of their originals onto Blu-ray, like with the Criterion stuff as well. Excellent if you've seen it. If you need to obviously watch Breaking Bad first, but it's a good ending to Jesse's story. Next up we have Fincher's masterpiece Fight Club. Really cool greeny and pink pop art design there. obviously a classic. Cronenberg's best film, The Fly. Her awesome special effects and creature design in this. I'm really not a huge fan of Cronenberg's other stuff, but The Fly is awesome. The Game, I actually watched this recently going through Fincher's films again. Definitely one of his most underrated flicks. Really great lead performance from Michael Douglas, and a really cool twist and turny thriller. Definitely worth checking out. Get Out, one of Jordan Peele's landmark debut feature film. Really cool minimalist artwork there, and still great. Rewatched it again earlier for my Halloween series of film reviews. Excellent film. Gladiator, Russell Crowe's most famous role. Great film by Ridley Scott. Definitely his best historical focused film. And really need to watch this again soon as well. And this is the excellent re-release for Halloween that came out this year. Love the autumn themed artwork there. Obviously a classic film. Also watched this obviously on Halloween as you're supposed to. Great film. And then we have the 2018 film, which I didn't enjoy as much this time around the rewatch, but it's still good, and I love the Todd McFarlane artwork for the Steelbook. And we have De Niro Pacino in Heat, directed by Michael Mann, obviously his most famous film, one of the best shootouts and heists films of all time. I need to watch that again soon as well. Hellboy 1 from 2004, watched this recently, did a ranking video on the 3 that you can check out on the channel. Still good, still a good time. And it's superior sequel, Hellboy 2, The Golden Army. And we have one of the few horror remakes, or remakes in general, that are actually better than the original. The Hills Have Eyes, a really brutal and disturbing remake of Wes Craven's original. Definitely check that out if you haven't seen it. And we have Eli Roth's notorious Hostel, produced by Quentin Tarantino. Still good. I actually watched this recently as well. I need to watch the sequel. Need to watch the sequel again, I should say. The third one sucks. I won't be revisiting that, but this one's still solid. In Bruges might just be my favourite comedy film of all time, alongside Edgar Wright's Cornetto films. Really darkly funny humour, a great crime thriller as well at the same time. If you haven't seen this, highly recommend it. 100% definitely check it out. We have 2017's huge hit, It. Great film, still watched it at the start of the year. Awesome performance from Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise, and the kid cast do a great job as well. And then we have John Wick 1, John Wick 2, and John Wick 3 with a cool slip cover as well as the Steelbook. And there's his dog. And we have Joker, one of my favourites of 2019. Obviously one of the most infamous films of 2019 as well. A huge success for DC. Great film still, even though a load of people hate it. Kick-Ass, still a blast to watch. Matthew Vaughn, one of his best. And great performances from Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Nicolas Cage and Chloe Grace Moretz. Another great Scorsese film, The King of Comedy, which was obviously a huge inspiration for Joker. And we have Knives Out, which I might watch again later today because it's been a year if this video goes out today, the 27th of November, since it released. I love the old mystery style book and the scratching and stuff on the back cover. You know, I'm going to watch this in a bit when I finish recording this video. And then one of my favourites, which a film that I can't help but feel great watching, and it's just, even though I have no interest in cars and racing, Le Mans 66, I love that artwork as well. Yeah, one of my favourites of 2019. It's just a great feel-good movie all round. Highly recommend it. Then we have Mad Max Fury Road, the black and chrome edition, as well as the regular edition, masterpiece of the action genre. Minority Report, one of Steelbook's best sci-fi flicks in my opinion, and a good Tom Cruise performance. Nightcrawler, need to watch this again soon. Probably my favourite Gyllenhaal performance. Awesome film about obsession and a really dark lead character in terms of like motivations, and his personality is very twisted. Very good film. No Country for Old Men, really need to watch this again soon. It's been ages. One of the Coen brothers, arguably their most iconic film. My favourite film of 2019, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, a film that I will never get bored of watching. And it might be my favourite Tarantino film. Honestly, I love it. I love Pulp Fiction, I love Reservoir Dogs, Hateful Eight, all of his films. But something about this, it's infectiously easy to watch. Pan's Labyrinth, Guillermo del Toro's masterpiece. Nice shot of the pale man on the back there. Nice shot. When he dropped that. Great film. One of his probably is his best film. And we also have probably the most highly regarded film of this year. Nice dual-sided cover there. Bong Joon-ho's Parasite. Look, it's as good as everyone's saying. If you haven't seen it, go in as blind as possible. You won't be disappointed. Brilliant film. Predator, Schwarzenegger classic action film with one of cinema's most iconic creatures. The Prestige. This might be my second favourite Nolan film. I love it. It's definitely, I think, his most underrated alongside Insomnia. Excellent twists and turns throughout, brilliant lead performances. The Raid 1 and the Raid 2, masterpieces of the action genre. Hitchcock's Rear Window. I love the art design for this Steelbook. I really need to watch the film again sometime soon. Tarantino's Reservoir Dogs. Obviously one of the best debut feature films of all time. The Revenant, starring DiCaprio and Tom Hardy. A really brutal film to watch. I need to watch it again. I haven't seen it since I saw it at the cinema. So definitely need to watch that again soon. RoboCop, another action sci-fi classic of the 80s that I need to rewatch again soon. Saw, the infamous first chapter of the now on hugely long-going series that I think has finally died a bit now. Oh no, until next year they're doing that sort of reboot sequel thing with Samuel L. Jackson and Chris Rock. First one will always be the best. Seven, one of my favourite crime thriller films of all time. Masterpiece. The Shape of Water, Guillermo del Toro's current most recent film and one of my favourites of 2018. The Shining is my favourite film of all time, and you're going to see another edition of this shortly. Perfect film, really. I have nothing wrong with that film at all. Doctor Sleep, it's highly underrated sequel. This is like the Blade Runner 2049 of horror films. Really should have done better at the box office and deserved way more praise because it's excellent and I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it already. Silence of the Lambs, obviously iconic horror thriller with a great lead performance from a great villain performance from Anthony Hopkins and a great lead performance from Jodie Foster. Need to watch that again soon. Sin City, one of my favourite comic book films of all time. I love the visual style of this so much and the pulp comic style of the pulp violence of the film in general. It's just really grim and nasty. Great film. Spider-Man 1. I need to get Spider-Man 2 on the Steelbook at some point. Best origin superhero film of all time. I think we can agree. Sorry, Batman Begins. Superbad, one of my favourite comedies. I still find this funny now, as immature and dumb as it is, because it's very relatable to me and like in terms of how me and my mates talk and stuff like that back when we were teens. Still really funny though. Like definitely the best kind of Seth Rogen written vehicle and stuff. Need to watch that again soon. Terminator, obviously a classic of the genre. Just got to see this at the cinema last year on the big screen. It's great. God, I missed the cinema. And its sequel, Terminator 2. Need to watch this again soon. Watch this again soon. Action classic. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, obviously an iconic horror film of the genre, and you can watch my video on it that I just released a few days ago if you're interested. But if you haven't seen the film, watch it. V for Vendetta, I just watched this 5th of November for obvious reasons, and it's still great. The Voices is a really underrated horror comedy starring Ryan Reynolds. It's more of an independent type thing. Definitely worth checking out. Wanted, one of my favourite comic book films, definitely underrated. Watchmen, Zack Snyder's best film. Sorry, Batman v Superman fans and all that. It is his best, and it's awesome. So I keep my Marvel Cinematic Universe, DC Extended Universe, and X-Men Universe ones separate, so I'll go through the Steelbook versions of those I have now in like release date order, because I just keep them in chronological when they came out, these ones. So you have Iron Man 1, nice Steelbook there, one of the best MCU origin films. Avengers 1, pretty basic Steelbook case, but I still love this film so much. I remember the first time I saw it in the cinema, it blew my mind seeing all of these characters on screen. Iron Man 3. This film I think gets a bit too much of a bad rap sometimes. I think it's quite a creative entry in the series in terms of twists and turns. Age of Ultron, this is a lot of fun still. I know people don't like it. It's very kind of foreshadowing and over kind of abundance of plot convolution and like throwing foreshadowing at the wall. And Ultron's good, he's charismatic and stuff, but it's good, but it's definitely not like one of the best MCU ones, especially like for the Avengers standard. Civil War, brilliant, really like this Steelbook case. One of my favourites of the series. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I need to get Guardians of the Galaxy 1 on the Steelbooks, that's probably my favourite MCU film. Love the second one as well. Spider-Man Homecoming, nice comic book art style there. Thor Ragnarok, need to watch this again, I haven't seen it in a while. Black Panther, nice kind of ink art style on that one there. Avengers Infinity War, got the Infinity Gauntlet on the front there. Avengers Endgame, this one's an alright Steelbook design. There's definitely a better version that released that I believe sold out really quickly, but it's okay. Lastly, Spider-Man Far From Home, I love this one, the pop art kind of Mysterio style there as well. I only have 2 of each Steelbook ones for X-Men and DC, so I've got Deadpool there. Just the Deadpool 2 Steelbook design I'm not a big fan of. Logan's one's really cool, comic book art style there. Need to watch that again soon, I love that film. We have Man of Steel, I love this one, the Jim Lee style on the front there, bold purple and blue on the front, and then the ink sketch version on the back, very nice. And lastly, Wonder Woman, nice bold design there, cool cover, there we go. Now the Steelbooks are done, here's the collector's edition. So this I believe is a media book, premium edition from HMV of 1917, one of my favourite films released this year in the UK. Titans of Colt edition of Stanley Kubrick's masterpiece 2001: A Space Odyssey, really nice set. Collector's edition of Blade Runner 2049, I love this, comes with a book and steelbook as well, all inside, and a poster that I've got up. Same version here for Goodfellas, masterpiece of Scorsese's in the crime genre. Just a brilliant film all round, one of my favourites I can watch over and over. In Bruges, same as I mentioned before, brilliant comedy, action, comedy crime thriller. Highly recommend. This is the collector's edition of that, it's really nice. This is the Psycho Everything Blue collector's edition set that is brilliant, comes with a steelbook and a ton of stuff as well. Shawshank Redemption collector's edition, obviously a film that I pretty much, same with The Shining, it's pretty much perfect, I have no flaws with it, it's a masterpiece. Collector's edition of The Shining for its anniversary, comes with a ton of stuff, excellent set. Upgrade, one of the best sci-fi thrillers of last year, really cool set that they released on Blu-ray in the UK. And I'm just going to quickly flip the camera around and show you guys my 3 box sets here, my collector's edition box sets. So I've got the Lord of the Rings extended trilogy, the Hobbit extended trilogy, and the whole James Bond collection that I'm working my way through, because I haven't seen a ton of them aside from the Daniel Craig ones and the early Connery ones. And yes, there is a continuity error because I took my jumper off because it's actually boiling in here. But anyway, thanks for watching this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed having a look through my collector's edition and steelbook collection. When I get all my Blu-rays back that I'm currently lending people, then I'll do a whole Blu-ray collection video. But yeah, until then, I'll be doing my Criterion collection, my Sony Classics collection, and my HMV Premium editions before that. So look forward to those at some point. Watching the video, guys. As always, please like, comment and subscribe. Let me know what you thought of the video and what your favourite collector's edition sets or steelbooks are. And yeah, I'll see you again soon. Cheers.